Hi everyone, so this is just going to be one of the other smaller sort of updates. Just wanted to clear the space a little bit to make it a little bit easier to tell what's kind of going on. And we've got this fancy little turntable here so we can spin it around and have a look. So at this stage, really happy with the way all these rooms have come out. I'm pretty sure that we're done for the most part for these. So it's just now a matter of pretty much of getting the roof onto it. So once we get the roof on, we obviously have to reattach the wires and then get the battery pack to sit into the gap there, so you can change over the batteries or turn the whole unit off if it's not being used, or storage, or any of that kind of thing. So reattaching the wires is something I'm pretty nervous about, just in case they decide that now they want to stop working. So yeah, pretty anxious about that, but fingers crossed it all goes well. So with the front, really happy with how this is turning out. Let's get a better look at that. So at the moment we've got some base colors, we've got some chipping, some weathering on this. I'd like to give it some real heavy dry brush of metals up and down, obviously to simulate sort of the trucks making their way up, and some like soot lines. Experimenting with the thought of maybe having some smoke puff off the back, but it might be a little bit too cartoonish. I'm not really sure at the moment. As for these strips, just to add a little bit more to the front, we've filled in these gaps with, I think it's cork. I've never used it before. Usually I go for liquid nails, which isn't really the greatest filler, but at least I know that it'll stick the stuff together as well. So that's where all that is sitting at the moment. So let me quickly go grab, well, let's have a look at least the top piece. So this is where we ended up with this. So down here we've got a couple of dead guardsmen here. I think another one buried in here, a little bit harder to see there. There is his back. And one crushed under here as well. So that was because I just felt like the top didn't have enough going on. Once it's painted and stuff, hopefully they won't quite blend in, but they'll definitely be interesting little tidbit for anyone who's got a keen eye. So with the top being done, or not done but assembled, it's just a matter of, yeah, as I said, of pretty much sticking that to the top here. I've got to sand down these tops. The whole idea was to make all of these the same height, so I could just lay the top on, put a little bit of glue between the gaps, and seal that in, so I didn't have to assemble this whole thing and try and paint it by getting into all these nooks and crannies and stuff. I could actually really spend some quality time working with the elements and making sure I'm getting the paint around all the corners and stuff, so when that light is bouncing around in there, it definitely catches properly. So with that, what I decided was best was to assemble it with a top, I guess. But as you can see there, the top is just a little bit too tall. So I'll sand that down. Hopefully we'll be able to get the top to fit pretty nicely, or pretty snug on top of the actual sides here. And then it's just a case of gluing it down. We fill the gap at the back where the two boards meet. Fill the gap in here, obviously. Maybe sand this down so it's a little bit neater. And then we can probably start painting it, to be honest. But yeah, so just a little bit of a longer video than usual, just because I had some requests from the other video I posted up with a comment about it. And hopefully that explains a little bit of the thought process going on here. What I might do lastly, just quickly, if I can get this up, put this, this is a pretty delicate operation. And I don't want to upset the lights that are in the system here. But without setting the wires that are underneath there, because the wires are all going to be poking out, that's how it will look when it's done. A little bit neater on the edges, obviously. And yeah, really happy with how this has come out. this has come out almost exactly the way that the sketches were, and it doesn't get any better than that, to be honest. Probably looking at adding something to this space here, maybe just a half building, kind of like these up top, maybe with some orcs that have made some makeshift ladders or something to cross over onto the fortress walls, real simple like, or maybe some grappling hook orcs, something simple like that. That's a little bit sort of comical in the typical orc fashion. So let us know if you've got any ideas or anything that maybe might fit in there, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video, I guess.